Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a really fun top of the hoop move. I did a contract recently where I was trying to find some more like Spanset, like inside the Spanset moves. And this is a combo that I came up with kind of last minute because the whole contract was a bit last minute. But I felt like it looked really good, so I thought that I would throw it into a video today. So without further ado, let's get on the Spanset. Okay, so let's watch this whole combo before we break it down. A couple of things to keep in mind is, first off, you want to really make these transitions look as smooth as possible, as we always do, but I think in this combo it's particularly important because there's a lot of transitions here at the beginning. One way to do that is to keep your movement in an even pace. So in other words, trying to give everything sort of the same amount of time, not rush through one thing and then take longer on the next thing. Also, big, simple movements will always read as graceful to your audience. So keep things simple, keep them big, keep them controlled. Another thing to bear in mind is that you're going to need to find your balance point in this layback on the top of the hoop. Similar to back balance on the bottom of the hoop, you just need to find the place on your body to put the Spanset where you feel balanced and equal weight between your legs and your shoulders. And also, I know I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again, use your abs and your core muscles. I know it's easy to get caught up with arm strength and shoulder strength when we're doing aerial, but abs are the core of all of your movement. Your whole movement is controlled by your abs. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down. I'm going to start sitting in a stag position on the bottom of the hoop. That means both of my knees are slightly bent and I'm turning my hips towards the side. I'm going to reach up and grab one half of the Spanset. And right here, I'm going to take a minute to do this really cute little grab me my foot behind me position. This is not really necessary for the transition, but I think it's a great little position that you can show as you're starting this combo. Finally, when I'm ready to, I'm going to reach up with my second hand and grab the other side of the Spanset. Next, I'm going to bring my hips to face the front and sink them down below the level of the hoop. The hoop is sliding up towards my knees, and I'm going to place one foot on the center of the bottom of the hoop. Next, I'm going to pull with my arms, push with my foot, lift up my hips, and bring my front leg between my arms, coming into that flying Russian position. Then I'm going to bend my front leg and bring my foot between the two sides of the Spanset. I'm hooking my knee, remember to use your knee pit as always with any knee hang, right on the middle of the Spanset. Now this is where things are going to get a little bit squished depending on the length of your Spanset. If you have a longer Spanset, this is going to be easier. I'm going to pull up with my hands that I've placed slightly higher. I'm going to slide my thigh farther into the Spanset and I'm going to bring my second foot through the center of the Spanset. Make sure you get a nice little dramatic hair flip here. This is a great moment for dropping your head back in a hair flip. And I'm sliding up so that my hips are right on top of the hoop. Again, this is a moment that's going to be a lot easier if you have a longer Spanset, depending on the height of your training space. Next, I'm going to walk my legs forward one at a time, and with each walk, I'm scooting my hips just a little bit forward. The idea is to move the Spanset onto a good balance point for my body. For me, that's about halfway up my bum, but it'll change for every person depending on your body proportions. I'm going to bend my legs and bring my toes back through the center of the hoop, opening up my legs into a small V so that as I lean back, my legs are lifting up the hoop. I'm leaning my shoulders back, and this is the point where you should be really super squeezing those abs. That's going to help you balance a lot. Finally, I can take off one hand and then the other. Make sure that you're letting your head drop back. That's going to make a much prettier position than if you're letting your head kind of lift up and try to look at what's happening. This is also another moment where your Spanset length is going to come into play because as you can see, I have quite a short Spanset on here, and a short Spanset is going to squeeze your hips and really help hold you in this position. With a longer Spanset, although it's easier to wiggle your way into this position, it's going to give you a little less of a squeeze and a little less security when you're actually in the balance. This position is a little bit tricky to exit from, so I'm going to give you two different exits and you can decide which one you prefer. Option number 1 is to place your hands back on the Spanset and bring your shoulders up, coming into more of a vertical position. Then I'm going to take my feet out of the hoop and use my arm strength to slide smoothly down so the Spanset is almost in my armpits. Next, preferably without looking down with my head, I'm going to place my feet onto the bottom of the hoop. I'm trying to place the balls of my feet onto the hoop because it's just going to look a lot better that way. Then I'm going to pass one shoulder through the center of the Spanset and twist around as I come down to sit in the center of the hoop. Be extra careful while you're doing this last little twisting motion because the hoop can move a little bit unexpectedly. So just take things nice and slow and be prepared for the hoop to move in a way that you might not be expecting. A little pro tip for this exit. If you are someone who likes to train wearing makeup or in a show wearing stage makeup, you will get makeup on your shoulder as you're doing this exit. So maybe this isn't the right move if you have a white costume. You might want to wear something dark colored like this. Exit option number 2 is a little bit simpler. Starts the same way though, because I'm going to put my hands onto the Spanset, come up more vertically with my body. But then I'm going to pull up with my arms, take the weight out of my hips, and come into an inverted straddle position. Then I'm going to slide my hips through the Spanset again, coming back to the front of the hoop, and hook my knees between the two sides of the Spanset. I'm going to place my hands on either side of my knees, remove one leg, and then remove the other leg. You can see right here the Spanset is going to grab your foot a little bit, so you're going to have to fight a little bit to get that second foot out. Just be prepared for it, it'll be fine. Even with a short Spanset that's squeezing quite strongly, I can get my foot out easily. Finally, I rehook my knees on the top of the hoop and I come down into my Hawk's position. Just a quick note as we watch this one more time so you can see it in real time. If you're on a shorter rigging like this one that I'm using, I think I have a 1 meter Spanset here, you're gonna swing a little bit in that back balance on the top bar. When you have a short rigging, it is really easy to start that swing and certain transitions will do it every time. Of course, it's something we want to avoid because we never want to really be swinging side to side when we're on the hoop unless it's a very intentional choice. But when it's a short rigging like this, it is going to happen occasionally. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really think that that's a super useful move because it's so visually interesting when you can do anything that lifts up the hoop into that horizontal orientation. Because if we're watching a vertical hoop through a whole act, it's beautiful, but like it adds so much spice to it when you can really change the orientation of the hoop. It just pops out visually, and I think that's really fun. And this is also a great rest move because you're not having to like hang from your arms or from your legs. You can take a moment to breathe, to regroup while you're balancing. But I think that's pretty much it for today. So before I go, I'll say, first off, thank you for watching. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe, just that little button down there. And also please do give this video a thumbs up because that's super helpful with the YouTube algorithms and whatnot. And I guess that's it for today. So I will see you guys next time.